So welcome back, guys. Thank you for viewing in. For today's video, we'll continue the series which I talked about creating a simple game in my last video. And for those of you who have never actually used Unity, let me explain the platform for you guys. So when you open Unity, first of all, this is what it looks like. If you have no idea how to use it, let me just briefly explain it, then we can start development. So this is the scene view, basically where you see or do your development, kind of like the architecture of the game or design. This is where you do everything, and then this is the game view. It's what you actually see when playing the game. Uh, so this is like the default layout of Unity, but then if you feel like you want to switch it, you can come over here to layout and choose whichever one you want. So you can see this, you can choose to use this, have your game view here and your scene view over here while operating. You can choose tall, wide, four split, whichever one you feel like using. So it's just based on preference actually. And so this is where you bring in like assets which you use to build your game. So you can have different kind of assets, maybe basically what makes the game look nice. Let's say the graphics, the UI, the visual effects, everything, you put them together here, and this is what like the tools you use to create a game. Um, over here is our hierarchy. So this is, I like to say that this is the game entirely. So it's being saved under the scene. As you can see, I named my scene tutor. That's also the name of this program, this program that I opened. So like this is just like the basic layout by default. So this is our main camera. If I set this, if I deactivate this and I go into the game view, you can see no display, so it's not going to show anything. If I put it back on, you can see it's going to display some. So always make sure you have a camera so that it can show you what you're doing. For the directional light, here it is, it just shines the entire scene. That's the use of directional light. And as we go into development, I will show you more and more tools um, for doing this. So for those of you who are interested and are watching this video and you have not subscribed, if you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the bell for notifications when I upload videos. Also follow me through the end of this series to understand how to create a basic game. Okay, it's not going to be anything hard, it's going to be a basic beginner level game. So for me, I don't really like this layout. I'm going to switch the layout, and what I like to see is my hierarchy over here, and then I like to see my game tab over here. So this way I can walk over here and also look, view, or see what it looks like in my game view. This is my layout. So if I want to save this, I can come over here to save layout, but then it's really easy for me. Let's just view it and then give it a name, maybe like Japan, then save my layout. But I don't really need that because it's really easy for me to set this up. So for today's video, I said we'll dive into development, so it's going to be a really easy game. Now I'm going to use 3D objects, but my game is going to be in 2D form. So it's going to be like a 2.5D game, but barely, because you will interact with 3D objects rather than 2D. I might make the 2D version depending on what you guys think about it. That's for those viewing this, checking out this video. If you are interested in that, you can just type it in the comment section below for me to do 2D version. For now, I'm going to stick with 3D. The first thing I'm going to do now will be to create a 3D object cube, and this by default is set to 000. I would want my collider to be on and my mesh renderer, so I'm not going to mess with any of that. And then this cube I don't really like the height, so for the X it looks okay, but then for the Y I'm going to go with something like 0.5. So this would do. And on the Z, now I'm just going to leave the Z to 1. And then I don't want it to be perspective because I'm not making an RPG or an FPS game. So I'm going to go into my camera settings and then change the projection from perspective to orthographic. This way it looks like a 2D game. Okay, so I'm going to drag the cube down this way, down, so up to minus 3.7. Let me try minus 4. No, that's way too low. Stick with 3.5. Yeah, I think this would be okay. So this is like the lowest point for the game, so I'm going to keep a cube here, and then let me duplicate this cube. That's Control D, and then shift it to the other end. Okay, for some reason I think that's the Z, right? I'm just moving it forward and backward, so let me use the one for the X, the arrow for the X, and then I'm going to check out the edge limit. But before I do that, actually, this game is for free aspect, and I am really more of an Android developer. So let me just change this scale ratio to something like this. It's still a bit too big. I'm not trying to create a PC game, just a simple phone game. Right, so this would be okay. I mean, I created this not too long ago. If you have a phone and then you're looking for the ratio, you can check it in your settings and then add the ratio here. So it will be the width and this will be the height, depending on the resolution of your phone. So that's how I added this 185 by 300. Your phone could be bigger, so I'm just going to make my game using this simple size. So let me pull this back in. The limit for this one would be minus 2.5. So let me just make it a whole number or a float, but just one decimal place, 2.5. And so if I duplicate this, then the other edge should be 2 plus 2.5. So I'm just going to duplicate this and remove the minus. So there it is. So these are like the edges of the game, and if you don't have any idea what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to create like a limit for where the game object should be. So these 3 for now would be okay, but as you can see they are kind of gray and it's blending in with the background, so I want to change the way they look. So I'm over here in my project panel. I'm going to right click this and go into create, and then create a material for this. So I'm going to just call this mat. And materials are kind of like it's a game object used to just apply like a color or texture to your game object so that it can stand out or look kind of better if you have better design for it. But so that's just the basic explanation for it. And over here, when I select my material, the albedo, I'm going to use something like red. No, red is too huge. Let me use something like dark blue. So I'm not going to style any of this, but metallicness and smoothness, this is mostly for shiny surfaces, but we're not going to be touching that in this video. And I'm going to take this material and apply it on each and every one of these tubes. So the basic idea for this game is kind of like a ball that I'm going to put maybe somewhere in the middle, and it's going to be, you're going to be controlling it and try to make sure it doesn't fall off, as well as meet the spikes up here. So I'm going to design each and every game object for this game. So for you not to miss any of this series again, try to follow up as much as possible. By the end of this series, you should be able to create a simple game. So with that being said, so I think that should be all for introduction. For our next video, we're going to move into the next step. Thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and see you in my next video.